What's going on YouTube? Double Edge Games here. Now I know what you guys may be thinking by just the title of the video, like, god damn he late, or pretty much just like, okay, I see what he's got going on right here. So pretty much what I'm going to be doing is a kind of like an updated review on some of the broken PC ports that have come out within the years or whatever, and I'm just gonna let you know how it's holding up in today's standards. Like, is it actually fixed, is it playable, or was it a sleeper, or was it a really good game? So today we're gonna be looking at Batman Arkham Knight. And in case you do not know what happened with Batman Arkham Knight, this game got pulled off Steam for months, and it recently was getting updates. I would say a little bit like around last year, but the game was literally getting a lot of hate, not just because, oh, it's broken, it's on PC, just because of the fact that they pushed this shit out around the time the consoles were out. But the consoles were fine, but the PC port was clearly broken. But of course, I'm gonna go ahead and save all that later until we get to the end. So let's jump into this review.
You hear me, Bruce? Oh, don't act all surprised, Bats. You knew this was going to happen sooner or later. Me stuck deep inside you. Together, we're going to give the city what it deserves. A new Batman. A better Batman. A darker, more... Well, we can come back to this later.
So, welcome to this new review style. Now, this new review style is actually going to be pretty much a lot of the stuff that's off the top of the dome. And pretty much how I'm going to start it off is we're going to do like a little brief history lesson just to let you know how the game became broken in the first place. And then we're going to go through some stuff we like, some things we don't like, and we're going to come up with a final verdict then. So, let's go ahead and start off with this history lesson, shall we? So, Batman Arkham Knight actually launched in June of 2015, and it got pulled off the Steam stores for months until they were able to give out some big update to actually fix some of the issues that gamers were reporting. Now, I'm just gonna let you know, this is actually no PC Master Race, nothing. If you spend $1,000 on your rig, no way, shape, form should a $400 PS4 or 300, whatever the fucking price is, the Xbox One, there should be no way that they can outperform a top of the line PC that can either cost $1,000 or $2,000, or even just, you know, the standard ones that cost around even like $600 or $800 or maybe even lesser. So the problem with the game was, it wasn't just the hardware issue that people had, it was more of a what the fuck were you thinking type of thing. Like, are you trying to fuck us over? Because what it was the game got pushed out so early to the point where the console versions ran like butter. They were good. Barely, there were some issues, but it wasn't as much with the PC. The PC version literally was unplayable for tons of people. Now, there was those few who had zero issues with the problems, and that's one of the issues with PC, is that there's so much hardware out there to where some people may have a rig that barely costs $800 and it's fine whenever games are unoptimized properly and they can actually play the game. And there are those people who have like spent like almost $2,000 on their computer and the game is just not working right. So it's really odd when it comes to stuff like that. That's not the case most of the time, but that is a possibility. So with the game being broken and then pulling it off Steam, they had to give out some updates to the people who still own the game. It was kind of a left in the dark kind of moment, because a lot of people wanted to play that new Arkham Knight game, and if you didn't buy it in time, or you just didn't want to play the game when it was in its current state, you had no clue when that game was going to come back. It was almost off the store for, I would say, like a good, I think it was almost 5 months. Don't quote me on this, but it was a long ass time when that game was off the store. Oh, okay. History lesson's over. So, we are at August 23rd, 2016. This is literally a year, almost over a year has went by for this game. So how does the game hold up to today? To say the truth, it holds up a hell of a lot better than what the reports were. Now, my system is nowhere on like a, you know, $2,000 PC. Like, I have a nice, good standard gaming PC that can last me a couple years. The most I'll have to do is probably upgrade, like maybe I want to upgrade my processor soon and just some other stuff. But pretty much can play the game at a mix of high and medium settings and get a steady 60. That oh, that's usually okay for me. But if I try to put it up to high settings or go even ultra, I get mad frame drops. And not even like frame drops to where I can't run it. It's just frame drops to where it's at 60, and then as soon as I do something, it's like, nope, you're at 40, nope, you're at 60, no, you're at 40, no, you're at 60. So it's really, really odd to tell, and I really don't get a steady frame rate like that. Or I could get a steady frame rate, it'll go all the way down to 30, which is kind of at some point. But pretty much when it comes to the overall specs of the actual game, the game actually looks beautiful. I can see why it has high system requirements, because the game looks beautiful. Gotham is huge in the game. There's a lot of shit that you can do in the game, and the game, like I said, looks beautiful. I was actually stunned by how good the game looked. I was actually very, very like ecstatic just to see what else Gotham actually has in store, or what this game has planned for me. Like, one thing I do love about the game is the overall story. If you're not familiar with any of the either cartoons, movies, comics, anything Batman related, the man is smart as shit. I don't know what it is, he's just a fucking genius, and he just like thinks of every situation. There are even situations in the game where I'm just like, damn, Batman, what the fuck you gonna do? Because I'm like, you gonna have to label some shit out for me, because I will not be able to get you out this situation. So it's moments like that that actually really appreciate just the overall fact that they even get the lore of Batman down right. And if you've never played an Arkham game, shit, go back to Arkham Asylum, go to Arkham City, which was literally game of the year when it came out. Go to Arkham City, play even Arkham Origins. Some people didn't like it, but it's a Batman anything game. Just try it out, you might actually enjoy it. So pretty much, the game itself, the storyline's good. It's still a really good game to try out. The gameplay is actually really, really spot on. I love the combat in the game, because with Arkham Asylum, the combat was you just mush the X button and then press Y. It's pretty much the staple of some of these WB games, like even Shadow of Mordor has it, and then also Mad Max had the exact same combat style. So when it comes to all this, the combat system is actually done just a little bit better. Like, they have environmental like type of attacks you can do. Like, you can take an enemy's head and ram it into like a generator box and it can explode. And it's just to where the point where it's like, okay, what can I do next? Can I snatch this lampshade down and bust him over the head with it, or can I stick this broom up his ass? Like, you don't know what you can do in that game. It's that fun just to actually get in the fights, and you're not just taking on like maybe 10 dudes. You can fight like 20 or almost 30 people at once, and because it's Batman, this man can just whoop their whole ass. But it's not that easy to where you just mush X and then hit Y and you're good. If your reflexes are good, yeah, you're gonna be smooth, no problem. But if you bump the difficulty up, they will beat the shit out of you. It is not a game out here. But the combat system, I really digged it in the game. It was just good. It felt like they actually elaborated more on it, but I do wish they could have did more. But it was good for what it was. And also, like I said, the overall story is just good. Of course, if you pay attention to the lore of Batman, you already know who the Arkham Knight is. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody, but the Arkham Knight's design and how the costume looks is fucking dope. Pretty much the characters that they had down, like the Joker returns in the game. I'm not gonna actually spoil how, but you're gonna see snippets of the Joker, of course, and you're just gonna see like a lot of the good characters of Batman actually make an appearance. So it's actually pretty cool. But that's pretty much the whole review. Like, it's not really, like really scripted or anything like that. I just want to go off the top of the head. Like, is this game playable in its state, or is this game good at this point, and should you buy it? Yes, you should buy it, because the game is actually pretty dope. I'm actually enjoyed it. To say the truth, the only thing that I don't like about the game is the fact that you're in the Batmobile too much and you're doing too much of this tank battling bullshit. That's the only thing I kind of like don't really like a little bit. But it's fun like here and there, but I don't want it like a little bit too much in the game. I still like being, just grappling around on my hook, because that's usually how I get around the city. Is I just snatch the grappling hook up and just boost up and I just glide around, because that's just fun to me. But other than that, to say the truth, there's nothing that I can really say I don't like about the game. Not really. I mean, the only thing I don't like is how Rocksteady pushed it out too early. That's it. So without further ado, guys, I'm gonna end off this review. And if you guys ever do want to try out Batman Arkham Knight, if you are on PC or even if you're on console and you never got to try it out, definitely pick up the game. Especially if you love superhero anything, I would definitely try it out. And mainly just because of the fact that how Rocksteady handled this game when it was on PC. And don't get me wrong, even the console versions had their issues too. But they literally almost killed the Batman.
Look at me while you die, Batman. Look at me.